Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, madam. Good evening, madam.
Of course, good evening.
Good afternoon, Mansula ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Warm welcome to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Shall we start the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, humble request.
Yeah, tell me.
Don't go for elaborated introduction.
Yeah, sure. Little.
Yeah.
Your camera is not seen properly. Will you push it forward?
Yeah, yes.
Little more. Little more forward. Okay, we shall start.
Okay. A pleasant evening to all. On behalf of the management of JMJ College for Women Tenali, I, Ms. K. Arunodaya, lecturer in physics, gladly welcome you all for this third day of 1 week online international webinar-cum-faculty development program on recent advances, future trends in artificial intelligence and cyber security. Let us commence our webinar with a prayer song, seeking God's divine blessings. I invite P. Rajeshwari from First BSc Home Science to sing a prayer song.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, and worship your holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, and worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing to the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, and worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, and worship your holy name. You're rich in love and you're slow to anger. Your name is great, your heart is kind. For all your goodness, I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, and worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, and worship your holy name, and worship your holy name. Lord, I worship your holy name.
Thank you, Rajeshwari, for your wonderful song. Before we commence the session, I would like to instructions. Dear participants, please mute your audio and switch off your video in order to avoid inconvenience. If during the presentation of resources, please post your questions. The questions will be clarified at the end of the presentation. and cooperation. I cordially welcome Dr. Sister Theresa Magadi, the correspondent of the college, Dr. Sister Shiny KP, the principal. Today's eminent speaker, Dr. K.R. Manju, Associate Professor, Esra Deemed University, Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu, and all the participants group to this international Webinar-cum-Faculty development program, Department of
Ma'am, I think your audio is not proper. It is muted. Yes, ma'am.
It's an honor for me to introduce a highly respected figure, a person of exceptional expertise, who is nothing but our today's resource person, Dr. K.R. Manjula, who will be discussing on the topic, role of data science and artificial intelligence in cyber security. Dr. K.R. Manjula, currently working as an associate professor in the CSC department of Shastra deemed to be University, Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu, India. She obtained her PhD from the SPMVV in the year 2012. She got more than 20 years of profound working experience with various institutes as assistant professor to professor. As an academician, her contribution to teaching profession includes the development of an online course for Swayam, the creation of e-learning materials, the development of a learning management system, and outcome-based course plans for various courses including big data analytics, spatial data analytics, time series, and sequence data analysis, digital image processing, data warehousing and data mining, Python programming with web frameworks, business data analytics with R, and problem solving and programming in C and C++, etc. She also created and designed a set of new courses like image processing and analysis, spatial computing, spatial data analytics, data warehousing and data mining, digital image processing and healthcare data analytics, etc. Always a teacher is a lifelong learner. Accordingly, she continuously updates her knowledge by undergoing various courses under Swayam, Coursera, and IIRS through MOOCs. Also, her active participation and coordination in institute or departmental activities like timetables, internal assessments, university examinations, academic council, board of studies, project coordinators, and project review committee are noteworthy. Actively coordinating institutional activities like accreditation, annual reports, IQSC complaints, AQR, etc. She is an active member in enhancing quality education by supporting government policies in higher education and research. Accordingly, she is the single point of contact for the NPTEL Swayam local chapter. She also coordinates the DLP-based IIRS outreach certificate program on remote sensing, GIS, GNSS, environment, and allied subjects connected with NRSC, ISRO, and also acted as coordinator of extension activities like Margadarshan and Ramarsh schemes of AICTE and UGC. She is also acted as an organizing committee and program committee member of various national and international. She was invited as an industry expert evaluation committee member of NEET, AICTE, Ministry of Education, NPTEL, and the IIT Madras online degree team. She is a reviewer of book chapters, books, journals, and theses, and adjunct as an external examiner for PhD candidature for various universities. Being an active life member of various professional bodies like IEEE, ACM, IET, IAENG, ISTE, ISSE, and CSI, etc., and also worked as branch counselor, chairperson, and faculty advisor for various professional bodies. We are fortunate to have an excellent and experienced guest speaker. I believe that today's webinar will provide a platform to discuss and acquire new insights on the topic, role of data science and artificial intelligence in cyber security. Now I invite Dr. K.R. Manjula to address our esteemed participants of the webinar. Welcome you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Just a second. Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, one and all. Hope my voice is audible.
Yes. Yeah, audible.
And of course, the screen is also visible, it seems.
Yeah. Yes.
So, madam gave very high level of, introduction about me. Of course, that is what the picture supports, that with great power comes with great responsibility, right? Nothing will come easily. Yeah, good afternoon to one and all who is
Yes.
participating into this workshop, webinar. And of course, we are not new to the topic. That is what the latest buzzword is what we have, artificial intelligence, data science and cyber security. So what I try to do is, of course, I am trying to share my knowledge. Of course, not as given in a profile. Yeah, the basic level knowledge connected with the cyber security and what we have to do and what has a mission. Of course, that artificial intelligence and data science based missions can help us to do that one. That is what I am going to put forth here. And I think almost all our faculty. The basic level. Only, yes, ma'am? Faculty, right?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Before going into the agenda, of course, my agenda is very lengthy, but my topic is very simple. So I am going to talk about what is a cyber security, what is the role of AI and data science with respect to this cyber security. Of course, recently what we observed is you may start back to the digital India concept where the data is digitized. From India point of view, we may observe that every data is digitized, and you may observe that there are m number of stories that you come regularly. Even we used to come across a set of messages or else links, maybe some kind of a mails connected with this one. All of you, what definitely either a day or some other day you might have come across these kind of mails, right? Or else messages. It is very attractive, and of course it is very impressive when you look into that one. Earlier we used to say that those are a kind of mails may have some kind of a spelling mistakes and all. Nowadays it is not so. It is very professionally written mails, professionally given the messages, and of course the links and even the calls what you get looks as though it is very authentic from the bank sector or some kind of say e-commerce applications like this. So that could be a kind of the place where you need to talk about or else think over the cyber security and the connected with the basically the cyber attacks and the a kind of security connected with this. So what actually the cyber security is, there may be a number of the definitions connected with this one to represent technically what is a cyber security. As a layman, we will talk about as a simple definition. As we started to protect the devices that may be connected with the internet, and the way of protecting our devices, that process is normally called as a cyber security. And the device, in the sense that not only the hardware device, we'll be talking about the devices that is connected with maybe a hardware device, a software device, data, everything will be taken into consideration when we talk about the security. So you need to protect even yourself when we talk about the cyber security. So what is the need of protecting ourselves, in the sense that you, in the sense that as a human, you are most victim of this kind of attacks. So that we have to be very vigilant to this kind of the messages as well as the attacks. So that is what I am trying to put here. When you look into the newspapers, you may observe that there are n number of cases that may be talking about a kind of the cyber attacks, and they are more. When we talk about these attackers, we may talk about we may use different terms as a hackers in some situation. We may be using the term as a cyber criminals, and as for this context, the term may be different, but the ultimate goal of this thing is to attack that is, though not physical, it is a kind of, we are living in the digital world, so that it is a kind of an attack connected with this through this digital world. So that plays an important the scenario, or else you need a stage or as a platform to talk about and discuss about and get an awareness over this kind of cyber security as well as the cyber attacks. So there are number of, what is the need, in the sense, what is the importance of talking about this one is, we may observe that even a single household has a minimum of 3 or 4 gadgets, right? So assume that if there are 3 members in a family, so definitely there must be 3 to 4 mobiles that is available in our home. So each one is, of course, we do have a certain vendors, they are giving a very good packages connected with the data packages and all those things. So we are accustomed to use this. So when we are living within 4 walls, so nothing is known to outside world. As we are living in the digital world, we may observe that we are totally in the external environment rather than in the internal environment. So the sharing is the most prioritized. Of course, the sharing is what are the most important threat that need to be understood nowadays. So you cannot avoid certain things, but at the same time you must be very much vigilant about the this kind of threats. So that is what my idea, to just put forth a few points connected with the cyber security and how the role of AI and data science. Of course, data science and AI can be viewed as a single point or as a single term, because AI is mother of all invention. So data science is a part of that role. So that's why I have changed my role from AI. That is, the topic is given as a role of data science and AI in cyber security. Instead of that one, I am starting with AI and cyber security, AI and data science. What you observe in data science is what it is already spoke in artificial intelligence itself. So what is the need, or else what is the importance of talking about the cyber security is, there are a number of users who are using our devices, and you have a number of programs that have increased incredibly in this kind of a scenario, that it generates a large amount of data, right? many of which are very much sensitive as well as confidential. Assume that if you move out from your home, if you do a single transaction, because it is very easy to do some kind of a digital payments, right? Digital transaction. So this is what the source where your data is freely available outside. So if you go to a petrol bunk and if you fill your fuel your vehicle, if you do any one transaction, then you have given one data point to outside world, right? So likewise, if you go to the grocery shop or else if you go to a vegetable shop or else a fruit market, wherever you go, the easy sources, we are not carrying money right now, right? And we are taking our own mobile phone. So that mobile phone is a key for all, not only for house. And we are using this one and we are using we are doing a lot of digital payments. Not only that one, we will start our day with WhatsApp status. We will end our day with WhatsApp status. Yes, sir. So that is what the stage where we are living in, right? So if this is a case, so how much data you may see, you may assume that you are not sharing anything. Your data is very secure. Your data is very private. You are not, as you are not sharing your PIN number, doesn't mean that the other people doesn't know the PIN number. They have their intelligence of getting that one. So that's why we must be very vigilant in connection with this. So that data theft is continuously growing, right? It doesn't mean that they must come to your home and they will hack your system. I mean, they have to get your data from your system. And simply, as there is a scope for getting the remote accessing is possible, so this kind of a threat is also possible. So this increasing volume and more sophistication methods basically used by these cyber attackers rather than us. So these kind of the whatever you talk about as a brute force algorithms or a certain kind of algorithm basically designed and derived in this artificial intelligence or data science are better inferred by the attackers rather than the regular people. So when we talk about the importance of the cyber security, we may observe that everything is connected. Your personal documents are connected, your identities are connected, your finances are connected, your digital footprints are connected. Yes or no? For example, personal documents, definitely you will be sharing your document to the legitimate users, assuming that you are sharing your document to the legitimate users. It is not true, right? So when you look back to that one, you may observe that the documents what you feel or else what you say. Is my voice is not audible?
Ma'am, audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, audible, ma'am.
Okay, yes ma'am, whatever you say, that is, if you link your Aadhaar card, automatically you have shown your identity. That is what identity is connected now. If the Aadhaar card is linked to the banks, you cannot do any transactions, right? You cannot operate your banks unless otherwise it is connected. Then that finance resources are connected. Your digital footprints. So that is also connected. Assume that if you are wearing that is what you have a smart devices, right? And if the data is connected with any of the hospital, assume so. So what automatically your digital footprints also connect. So everything is connected. Everything is normally whatever the things you feel it as a personal, whatever the things you feel data, you feel it as a confidential. So each and every piece of confidential information is shared with one or other person, stating that it is a legitimate sources, right? So we cannot avoid this kind of a cases. Only thing what you can do is how vigilant you are, so that much safety you are able to ensure for your data or else your own belongings. So when we talk about cyber security, so we do have a set of components connected with that one, and there are some kind of benefits associated with it, not with an attack. I am talking about the cyber security point of view. So we have a components. Few of the components will talk about application security. Few of the components will talk about data security or say information security. We do have certain services connected with the network security, and you have a disaster security, operational security, cloud security, CIS, that is what critical infrastructure securities, physical securities, end user education-based securities. These are all what are the components we may come across as a term called as software as a service, right? So when we talk about a cloud, this is what a basic component. Likewise, when we talk about a cyber attacks, these are all acting as the kind of a components connected with that cyber security. So where and all you can apply the security connected with this digital world. So that is what we are talking about here as a components. I'm not going in too much technical. I'm just making it as a generic information connected with that one. Then when it comes to the case of the benefits, you will be having a data data breaches. So that is what the very key attack nowadays. So your business would protect against this kind of a cyber attacks as well as the data breaches. So that is what connected with the application security. Likewise, you can protect the data and networks. That is what we will be talking about in the name of the component connected with the information or data security and the network security. And then they prevent unauthorized user access. There is also one kind of a security connected with your network as well as the data security. Protect us for endpoint devices as well as end users. So you may talk about a kind of the physical securities. That is what are the infrastructure related securities. And of course, what is the additional benefit you will get is you will get some kind of regularity compliances as well as a continuity of our business, confidence in the reputation of the organization. That analysis is what basically improved when we talk about this kind of, when we take these components into consideration. So how these are cyber security? Of course, AI is going to impact on this kind of a cyber security. That is what the continuation of the topic. So before going into this one, so you please just look into this case. This is the content where I am selected from. I'm collecting from the websites itself. You may observe that the cost of cyber security attacks. I'm not taking any content from the Indian scenario because the authentication is very much the required as of now. Citing is very much a need of the day. Just these are the contents here and there picked from the the web pages itself. You may observe that even the cyber attacks is a kind of a shutdown of a malls itself. Okay, so likewise, recently we came across the connected with the Walmart, and we do came across the connection. The cyber attacks over the security of the country itself. So these are all the stories what we come across is, and we observed that this a kind of a transportation related companies also taking getting this kind of attacks and all those things. You may just look here, 9 network under attack by cyber hackers, threatening new service nationwide. So this is what one kind of a representation. Likewise, you have we have a different type of cyber attacks, right? So that ransomware is also one kind of an attack that pays the billions to the $1 billion as a kind of a penalty. So these are all what we will be taking into consideration as a kind of the impact of this kind of cyber attacks. So when we go a little bit deeper into this case, so you may observe that we are very much familiar with this kind of attacks. That is, this is what we will come across in our day-to-day life. You please look into this case, you will get a message. Of course, this kind of attack is very much increasing after COVID, that is a post-COVID period, right? So you may observe that this is what one kind of a message to be understood as a kind of a phishing message. And you please look here, this is also one kind of a message. And this is also a one kind of message. You please observe this one, how the attackers are taking advantage of the situation, and how intelligently they are using that one. You may observe that the level of the quality they frame, the messages, as well as the level of the intelligence they use while while doing this kind of attack. See, so we have a phishing email we do have a wishing, we do have a smishing. So this is what a kind of are as a categories of the attacks that may be taken into consideration. This is what we used to come across on regular basis. See, you may get a message stating that your number has got selected for so and so, and this much amount of amount will be deposited in your account. Or else you will get an email stating that there is a kind of a business contract. So you may observe that you didn't know how your mail IDs went to them, but you will get such type of messages. See, when you look into this case, these are the certain what it is things or as points we have to understand, or else we have to observe before opening that one. Assume that you got a mail. There is no need to open that mail itself. You can simply look into that one. You may observe these are the certain points where you can check whether the mail is really a spam or not, right? So sometimes you may observe that the mail will have a spelling error in a sender's address without a domain they will send, or as a domain may be a different domain. Likewise, the subject line might be very vague. It may look some kind of fishy, right? Likewise, requesting some kind of financial as well as a personal information. Okay, and also you may observe that the link leading to an external website, and you may have a kind of a record statement, but may not be with a signature. So this is what the general scenarios you will come across when you get such type of mail. But hackers are very too intelligent than us. Now they are making these mistakes as a kind of issues of their own, and they are rectifying all these things. You can get a very beautiful and authenticated mail with a proper domain, with a very attractive what is a subject line. Okay, that deal is totally different, and they are able to talk about they will use the knowledge of recommendation, that is a user profile, into consideration, so that the subject line as well as the content or as a deal or contract what they are put forth is very much interesting, as well as very much connected to our profession also. So that is how the hackers are getting making use of even this AI tools. So this is what one more example connected with this cyber attack, the type of cyber attack. So you have a different type of cyber attacks. You may observe that when you put the types of cyber attacks, you will come across nearly 15 to 16 types of cyber attacks. And we cannot take all those things into considerations, right? So I'm just listing. You have a kind of a cyber attack, what we call it as a password related attack, and you do come across a man in the middle attack, and then you do come across the denial of service attack, insider threat attack, crypto joking, crypto talking. These and all could be taken into consideration as a kind of a types, but these are the kind of the attacks that we come across on regular basis. That's why I'm talking about only very popular kind of cyber attacks. So what it is a kind of a malware that encrypts data, specifically asking for a payment in order to restore access, right? So this is what one kind of an attack. So what it is doing, how you will get this kind of information? The attack in the sense that maybe through an attachment, okay, email attachments, or else you may be doing some kind of a downloads, website or downloads, or else there may be a links in the emails. Likewise, the website links itself. These are all what the sources where you are able to get this kind of you may get this kind of a malware attack. So how would you protect? In the sense, you have to protect because as I told, right, these are the regular things what you come across. You may be very much busy with that one. Suppose by mistake, if you click on this one, automatically we will be getting to a problem. So that you have to go with the proper update as well as the checkpoints connected with your system, with your gadget itself. So that is the only way where you can protect yourself from against this kind of attacks. This is what we are talking about. So we have a different kind of attacks, right? So when we talk about this one, how you protect yourself, or else how can I protect myself? This is what the simple scenario where we will normally do, or else we have to do in almost all of the cases. This is what our default issue, as we are digitally connected, and there are n number of the applications or else the websites we may be using, and there is a need for login to that one, and it is a mandatory for us to set the password, and a very difficult task is to remember those passwords, right? This is what the common scenario almost all of us will face, right? Because of this kind of uh, suppose if we use our own in our own institution, as a faculty, we have nearly 5 to 6 mail IDs, as I am running an online course, so that for that one it is a separate domain. So that for Swayam I have one mail ID, for Google Classroom we have one thing, and for the official official works we will have one mail ID. For student related works we will have one mail ID. Likewise, for our exam section we do have one. Likewise, in our institution itself, each faculty will have minimum of 4 to 5 mail IDs, and we will be working with 5 to 6 website, applications, ERPs related applications. So to remember all these mail IDs, of course, remember all the passwords. Mail IDs is different. Login name is user name is different. Remembering all password is a very tough job. So what we try to do, we will make use of our own date of birth, or else our children date of birth, the short names of the children, or else our own short names. This is now what the possibilities we try to make use as a kind of a password, right? Of course, in general, I am not talking about the people who is very much aware of, vigilant about their digital world, in this digital world. That is the general scenario. So this is what the very simple thing we used to come across. And somewhere else we will be sharing our own data. Maybe we will be sharing our own children data also, our parents' data, and somewhere else we will be sharing in some other application. For hackers, it is very easy for them to predict such a type of very simple passwords. That's why we must have very long and a strong password. And of course, remembering such password is very difficult. So that what we can do is we can make use of some kind of the proverbs, or else some kind of the sentences that we must remember. Okay, as a kind of a password. And we may observe that setting a password itself is giving some kind of instruction. The password must be this much length and this much combination of this and that and all those things. So always better to avoid such type of simple and easily guessable passwords, and you can go for the better one. Next one is, of course, nowadays we have a two-phase authentication, right? That is also a one kind of a source where we can protect ourselves. By default, we have to change the default passwords. Once you log into any of the website, there will be some kind of a password, default password. And we observe that most of the people will work with that default password, so because they could remember that default password. If we go back to the ERP, they will give that one, right? Yes. Likewise, I think somebody raised. It is by mistake or else any queries?
Yeah, no, madam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can continue later. They will ask.
Yes. And that is, if you have a multiple accounts, the better option is do not use the same password across. That is what the normal scenario we used to do, right? The same password. Of course, the password, even the PIN number of ATM cards, or else the net banking, whatever we come across, if you maintain your same PIN number, it is very easy for us to maintain, right? Same PIN number or else the same password across domains. It would be the same for it is very easy for the hackers to hack. So whether it is a tough job or else a difficult or else whatever may be the scenario, do not do this kind of attack. That is why we can protect ourselves. Likewise, that is better option is we have to use some kind of a password manager. So that is what the best option we can make use. And likewise, when it comes to the case of our gadgets, that updates, that is what a very key source or else the key point where you are able to get at this kind of attacks. that is knowingly, unknowingly, we will make that automatic update on, right? So that is the very first thing we have to reset. So we must have some time to do this process of making the updates. You have to ensure that all of our devices must be updated to the later version, because as per the change in the scenarios, the cyber attacks also increasing. And in order to support or else mitigate to that kind of a cyber attacks, even the vendors or else the application vendors are changing their versions. So in each version there may be some kind of the modifications or else updates or else upgrades that may be present. So what our edges or else our the devices must be up to date with respect to that corresponding version. Assume that when we are talking about mobile phone, there are a number of updates came to the WhatsApp and the even the Twitter, the LinkedIn applications, likewise your Facebook or else your mobile operating system itself. So that is getting updated. So definitely we have to update at one point of time. It doesn't mean that we have to go on regular basis or else on daily basis. At least in a periodic time, we have to take time to do all these things. Likewise, we have to flush out to the garbage that is present in our devices. That is what the very basic thing we have to. That is what we normally call it as a sprinkling. Okay.
ఏది కొట్టు క్యాన్సర్కి అది కొట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది
That need to be done.
Ma'am, continue, ma'am. We have you.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, so these are the points, but we have to take it to consideration to protect ourselves. And these are the certain points we must be very careful. This is what we have discussed. That is what, how can I protect myself in the sense that we must aware of what is a phishing, what is a phishing, what is a smishing. And you have to look out for the urgencies. That is, you may be in a need, you may get some kind of information. And you have to avoid such type of urgencies and responding to the kind of messages connected with that, connected with this kind of the messages that seek your personal or financial information connected messages. Likewise, there is no need to. You will get some kind of the links, right? Recently, you will come across this kind of links very much popular now. That is, they will ask you, they will send a message stating that 10,000 is deposited account to activate that one, to claim that one. You please click on this link. Likewise, okay. So that is what you have to be very careful and search yourself in this kind of physical. This kind of a digital world. So where you must be very much mindful when you share your information. That is what very important thing you have to think about, or else you must be vigilant about. You may assume, or else you may take this one as a kind of a checklist, as a kind of a personal checklist to keep away from this kind of a cyber attack. You please just look into this list. Is your devices are secure? How you say that your devices are secure? Just observe that you have your laptop, and your laptop has can have three different levels of password, right? While booting itself, you can set your password, and when loading any of the operating system, you can set your password. For a data, the drives, whatever you have, right? For that one also, you are able to set your password. That is a system. Likewise, your mobile, you do have a patterns. You do have a kind of an applications, of course. Nowadays, the mobile devices are coming with a number of applications connected with the different levels of security. Okay, so that you can make use. Likewise, while roaming or else while going outside, it is better not to use the free Wi-Fi, right? As it is available So if we make use, and we are also the part of that particular attack. We have to ensure that always you have to ensure that whether it is your system or else your mobile is properly you have a kind of the virus, antivirus that is installed. And there is a variation in that one. If we think about a kind of the cost oriented one, definitely you will come across a kind of threat oriented outcome. So that is what we have to look for, a kind of the antivirus software that will support or else that will combat this kind of attacks. Likewise, taking a backups, that is also one kind of a point we have to put it in mind. Always, it is better to take a backups, because we do came across I myself is a kind of a victim of such type of a loss of a material when I was doing my PhD, and that is something goes wrong with your system. We must be in a position to get back our data, right? So that even in your system we will be having a multiple the specifications connected with the drives, so that what we have to put your data in a secured place. That is what backup is not a mandate. I mean, is not only the scenario. Placing the data in a secure way, that is also a base of the point we need to take. And whatever we have to come across, the very first thing is cyber attacks is not does not have a boundaries. You cannot think only this kind of things will be get attacked and only this kind of things will be get attacked. Now it becomes versatile, and you may think about you cannot imagine what you are going to, how you are going to get affected by this kind of cyber attacks, right? So what is a way or is a method that will mitigate this kind of issue, in the sense that, or else how can I protect ourselves? That is what the key concept that we need to understand. So in this thing, what I am trying to explore is how a human and a machine collaboration can be modeled to defend against this kind of cyber attacks. That is what the idea of using artificial intelligence as well as the data science. So how this artificial intelligence in cyber security or else cyber attack is taken into consideration. I think all of you are familiar with one latest buzzword, right? What it is when I am talking about AI. This is what the recent trend.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. So we do have a n number of AI based chatbots, right? So why this ChatGPT is getting more important, or else more why it is getting that much importance or familiarity? Anyone? What actually it is? All of you agree that it is a kind of AI based tool,
Yeah,
right?
AI-based tool that
Yeah.
gives all the informations related to
Yeah.
particular topic.
Yeah. How many trials you have done with that one? Okay. Okay. Suppose as we almost out of the 50 participants, definitely few of you might have come across this AI, that is that Chat GPT, right? So how you authenticate the content that is given by this the tool is very authentic or is right?
All may not be right,
Yeah.
but we can get some information.
Is that information is very authentic information? That is what.
May
Where it
or
is
may
getting
not
from?
be.
Yeah. So where it is getting from? So if you put your name, it will give some information about you.
Yeah.
Right. So that is what the tool. Of course, when we talk about AI, it has a very very old history. You may start back to, you may now look back to the second generation of computer itself, right? Where we started thinking about a computer which could mimic like a human. That is what the role of the that is what the initiation is, maybe started from the second generation computer itself, right? So we started thinking about this we started using about the IC chips, and we were talking about, we have, in maybe 1950s itself, the AI came into existence, you may say, and it is a mother of all inventions, and of course, all whatever you come across as a kind of insecurities. So we may observe that one. It is a tool for both doing a good and as well as a bad. Even too good is not bad, and too good is not good, right? So that is what we will come across, or else we will face with this kind of advancement in the technology. Okay, so when we talk about that is what we are talking about here. Of course, all of us know what is a AI. So I am not going to talk about what is an AI. Very simple term. It is a mother of all invention. If you talk about an expert system, it started from the stems. It hails from this artificial intelligence itself. If you talk about a neural network, if you talk about a decision support system, if you talk about a fuzzy system, if you talk about a machine learning, or else if you talk about a neural, what is a deep learning, what reinforcement learning, whatever the learning you will come across. So all are hailed from this artificial intelligence itself, and this is what are the backbone for all kind of the technology. Technology what you come across, or else the applications what the sophisticated applications what you use, and of course the issues what you come across. So what is the point here is how this artificial intelligence is working with this cyber security. So this AI proves to be beneficial as it improves the way the security experts analyze, study, and understand the cybercrime. So this is what the very key point or a key concept connected with this the cyber attack, and how you are making use of this tool to make this kind of a security or else a cyber attacks, or else address or else mitigate this kind of a cyber attacks, that is plays a very dominant role. So it improves the technologies that and most of the company used to combat the cyber criminals and help organization keep customer data safe. And this is what the statement. In reality, it is totally different. So it is our own responsibility also to take care of such type of information as well as the data to protect ourselves. That is what I was talking in the previous slides. And of course, as I already told, that AI is mother of all innovation as well as inventions. What we have to understand that even that machine learning and deep learning. See, we do not have a separate or else a specific technique connected with this one, with AI. You may have a set of algorithms connected with artificial intelligence like A-star algorithm and all those things. When you talk about the machine learning, it is talking about making a machine to work, right? If you talk about a deep learning, it dig deeper into the data so that it is able to learn. So what actually learning? It is learning as per the input what you give. What is the purpose? So that you will make your machine to work or else mimic how you behave. Right? So that is what you may see that it is connected with all. Whether you talk about from the machine learning point of view, in simple term data science point of generic term data science point of view, deep learning point of view, this is what a very basic. What you may say that it is a fuzzy term. AI is what the basic term, and all other the machine learning, deep learning, data mining, data analytics, all these things you may observe that these are all fuzzy information, right? Fuzzy techniques. Each one is collaborated with other. You may see that it is a kind of integrated or else interdisciplinary related content. You may talk about statistics. You may talk about a probability. You may talk about the optimization technique. You may talk about the reasoning. Everything is taken into consideration with a different name, but all are connected with this artificial intelligence. So, yeah, self-learning AI-based cyber security, that is what self-mitigated, self-learning based AI, that is a self-learning AI-based cyber security posture is what are the need of the team, right? So that is what we are trying to address with this kind of AI, with the help of the AI, right? When we talk about the cyber attacks, and we already told that the cyber attacks are increasing every day, and practically it is raising, the rise of security threats following this pandemic is very high. And I'll show one map. You will understand how it is, growing as well as the population is growing by every minute. When it comes to the case of the cyber security, what we are expecting is from the AI is we are talking about we are expecting anomaly prediction, detection as well as attack response. What it is, how this AI is supporting in anomaly prediction in the sense that it can be used to predict the potential cyber threats. So that is what the role of AI. How it is done is technically you will be making use of the corresponding algorithm connected with that is a network security related algorithms, right? And anomaly detection, that is AI helps to find signs of irregularity associated with the network or else with the applications or else at the notifications or messages, websites, whatever you come across, and you can investigate further and take necessary measure to prevent such type of an attack. That is what the anomaly detection in connection with the AI is done. Then third case is the attack response. That is prediction, detection is different. Prediction is, it is a kind of the previous action, right? Before that you get that one, you will try to predict. Detection is, it is already done, it is available or else it is present, you are trying to detect, right? So what is an attack response is, in addition to this prediction and the detection, an organization can do what, it can do some kind of a measures or else make some kind of a mechanism by making use of this AI to fight and stop such type of attacks in real time. So that is what basically these three terms are connected with the network security also. These are general terms. When we talk about the security, these are the terms we normally come across. So how it is taken into consideration with respect to cyber security and AI is what we are trying to look at. So AI is not only support us to predict the anomalies, that is what a kind of uncertainties, right? Or even it is not an uncertainty. Anomaly is what a kind of odd thing from the given the present context. Likewise, detecting such type of anomalies and also giving a response. Okay, maybe for mitigating that one. That is what we will be talking about. And when we come to the case of a cyber security, basically the cyber security gives a set of hurdles. It is very unique when compared with other cases. So the one case is expansive attack surface, and the second case is numerous attack vectors. Of course, scarce security professionals and data overload. What it means? The first case, expansive attack surface, in the sense that the organizations are in a they are supposed to deal with this kind of the attacks. The attacks are not coming as tens or ones are in counts, finger counts, right? It is coming in the count of hundreds and thousands. Assume that if you take an organization, any of the MNC, where thousands of systems could be there, if there is such kind of a potential vulnerability coming to that one, definitely we have to understand that how fast it will expand to almost all of the system. And there is a scenario where we do come across such type of situation where one faculty didn't update their antivirus software, so it was attacking network itself. So that totally we have a standstill situation for a day. We couldn't access even our mails. So that is what the scenario. If one is not perfect, almost the entire organization will will become a culprit of that. Will be a victim of that. The only one person could be a culprit. Likewise, numerous attack vectors. That is, cyber threat emerge through various avenues. That is what I told you. We cannot expect in which scenario, in which context they will make us to get attacked. Right? It is a kind of you may say that a kind of NRA attack. You cannot expect only this kind of applications will get this kind of attacks or as maybe get affected. If this having a versatility, they are having a versatility, they could attack in any angle. Okay, that is what we have to understand. So the threats emerge through various avenues, making monitoring and securing multiple entry points as a very crucial. So that is what we are talking about. doesn't mean that only the text message, your WhatsApp message. So it may come in a different levels. Earlier, there is no such type of messages you are getting in a WhatsApp. Now you are getting such type of messages even in WhatsApp. Okay, so that is what we have to understand. So the most popular the application is what the prime target of those attackers. Likewise, the security professionals. Of course, there is a scenario where we have always there is a shortage of skilled security experts that will handle this kind of a situation. And that is what a normal scenario, right? Even when we have a COVID situation, and we have as a kind of an issue, and we found that there is no there is no such kind of case of test cases. So we become a kind of a test cases for that kind of a samples, whatever the vaccine we came across, we become a test cases because there is no such type of issues earlier. So it is a new, and we have faced that one. So likewise, we do have this kind of a cyber attacks. Data overloaded. So the volume of data has exceeded human scale. So that's why we are talking about artificial intelligence, not only artificial intelligence, big data analytics and artificial intelligence, big data analytics and machine learning, big data analytics and the deep learning. So everything is now going hand in hand. So this volume overloaded data, the voluminous data necessitating this kind of AI powered system to handle this kind of the security. So this is what we have to understand. When we talk about the cyber security, it is very unique where you need to make use of this kind of AI tools to work with. So how this AI is used in cyber security in the sense that these are the recent developments you may observe. We are talking about IDS, that is AI based intrusion detection system. And likewise AIOPs, this is one kind of a platform. And as I told, right, the machine learning assisted malware analysis, and likewise machine learning assisted hacking tools. Okay, so this and all what are the newer, we may say that it is new to the market, or else you may say that it is still in infancy to get adapted to this kind of a cyber security. So what is the first case? It can detect the possible threats by taking the system patterns and identify abnormal traffic and malicious activities. So that is what IDS. And when we talk about this AIO platforms, what it will do is, it will run a complex set of algorithms over the massive volume of data, and it could understand the regular system traffic as well as the change in this kind of traffic also. Okay, so that is what the key component connected with this kind of AIOP platform. It is able to understand as well as predict such type of threats. Not only it is predicting, it is also fighting against such type of threats. And then what we have AI assisted malware analysis. Of course, it is a kind of a AI tool which help us to develop some kind of a high level machine learning based malware tools that will mitigate this kind of a cyber attacks. Likewise, we have a machine learning assisted hacking tools. Of course, it is a counter tool. It is also creates some kind of a best known hacking tools in the market, and that could combat this kind of cyber attacks. So we have a set of the operations of AI. Of course, it is simply given as an operations of AI, but actually you may observe that this is all what are the operations that is incorporated by certain kind of tools and applications connected or as generated by this AI in the even data science, machine learning, whatever you say, etc. Right. So we have a breach threat forecast. That is one kind of operation. Detecting phishing as well as a malware discovery and malware discovery. Likewise, you have authentication related, spam related, and a password and a port identification. These are all what are set of operators. Likewise, we do have a list, behavioral analysis, and likewise the network segment and securities, the fraud as well as threat intelligence. Please understand, this is what very the important threat intelligence is what the nowadays getting a more, weightage. Likewise, incident response, vulnerability operations, identity and access operation. These are all a set of operations of artificial intelligence connected with the cyber security. Is made as a kind of features connected with a set of artificial intelligence based tools as well as an applications connected with the cyber security. Of course, we are talking about the chat GPT. That is, what is the need of talking about this kind of cyber security and artificial intelligence? And this is only two examples I am taking into consideration. One is the generative AI. That is what a most important thing. And next one is the chat GPT. Chat GPT is an AI tool. Generative AI is a kind of a technique connected with this the email as well as the cyber attack. So what this generative AI will do in the sense that it will impact on a email related a cyber attack. Chat GPT, as we already discussed, right? It is a kind of a tool which can generate the post-exploitation payloads that can be customized according to what you want it to do. All right. See, it is a kind of a tool that could adapt itself much more in a convenient conversation. It will do a kind of conversation like a real person rather than just having a pre-programmed replies. It is not just like the tool what you have, right? In the earlier cases, other chatbots. This is very intelligent tool because it is incorporated with. It is an outcome of the best AI tool. What it could do is, as though we are doing conversation, right? One-to-one conversation. What is the question I am raising? You will be responding to that one. It is not the thing. It is already preloaded. It could understand and it could reply. That is what the of course the beauty as well as the beautiful threat behind this chat GPT. So this is what an example I gave right here. To be understood through this chat GPT, for any tool you do have a kind of a pros and cons, right? And we can simply say that chat GPT is a kind of a beautiful weapon in the hand of hackers as well as the regular people. So this is what we have, the usage of chat GPT in the workplace. So what is an issue here is, knowingly, unknowingly, we are feeding the sensitive data into this case. See, this is up to 23. Okay, so the last year is, it is up to 2023. This is what I am talking about. Here, that is, we are feeding the data, knowingly, unknowingly, we are feeding the data into this. You look here, this is what a report generates, right? As per the data you fed into that. We have a phishing, that is, as we told, right, that mail, it may be asking for contract, financial contract and all those things. So this is what the mail generated by the chat GPT. How beautifully written. There is no spelling mistake, as I told in the earlier. There is no spelling mistake. There is no vagueness in the sentence. There is no vagueness in the sentence. Beautifully written a kind of a content. So when we talk about AI, I think, ma'am, what is the time?
Ma'am, 4:40.
Yeah. No. I have 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, I can continue. Can continue
Yes.
till 5:15 also if you are able to continue.
No, ma'am. I don't want to
Right.
trouble people.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk about the AI, so we are talking about a term called adversarial use of AI. That is what we have to understand. The very first thing is, we will be talking about a pattern insight, actionable recommendation, autonomous mitigation. This is what the positive angle of this kind of AI, right? So what we'll understand is, it will excel at recognizing and classifying the patterns that is very difficult for a human to analyze, right? So it is able to present these patterns to a security professional for further examination and analysis, given by this AI. Likewise, actionable recommendations, of course, with the help of the AI. So it is acting as just like an intelligent agents which could offer actionable recommendations based on a certain identified patterns what you have come across, provided some kind of a security professionals with the guidance on an appropriate measures. That is what the support that AI is able to extend. Likewise, it is a kind of some intelligent agent can take a direct action on behalf of the security professionals to address and rectify these kind of issues. That is what is a support extended through the AI-based autonomous mitigation. Right? We have a AI-based pattern insight as well as autonomous, actionable recommendation as well as mitigations. The recommendations are a norm of the day. So when AI comes into this case, that's why even the e-commerce applications are taking into consideration of this AI into account, and then it is doing some kind of recommendations. And with this case, I'm just trying to list the benefits of making use of the AI against this cyber security. It is getting more intelligent over time. Instead of using a normal the cyber threat-related applications, if it is AI enabled in the sense that it is learning over time, right? It becomes more intelligent over time. It is able to help us in identifying even unknown threats. It is not a kind of the cycled one or as a pre-learned one. It is learning by itself as per the its experience or as by observation, so that what you are able to identify the unknown threats also. Even it could hold a lot of data. You can infer a lot of data, volume of data. It could handle well. I mean, this kind of attacks vulnerabilities better way than the existing system. There is no need to talk about the time factor connected to this one. That is, it is trying to eliminate the time-consuming task connected with this kind of the algorithms that is normally handling this cyber attacks, and reiterative process. That is, instead of doing, that is what I told, a cyclic manner. So that will be reduced, and of course enhanced security authentication as well as it is totally eliminating this time-consuming task. Okay, so that is about the role of AI in the cyber security. Please understand, cyber security is an ocean, and of course AI is to be understood as an ocean. It is a collection of oceans, right? So it is very difficult to talk all the things. I'm just making it as a kind of a blind flow between the cyber security, connection between the cyber security, artificial intelligence, of course, data science. Okay. Data science, what you learn from the artificial intelligence is what are data science. So it is science about the data, right? You may use a different terms connected to this one. There is a kind of a difference between the data science and data analytics. So what you infer with the data science and what you infer with the data analytics is nothing difference. But we will use these terms, right? So basically it is to be understood as a kind of a branch of AI, which involves studying, analyzing a large volume of data using various tools and techniques. What tools you will use, assume that a machine learning. So actually the machine learning is what the tool of, or else a branch of artificial intelligence itself. That's why I'm reducing the content connected with the data science. And when we talk about this data science and cyber security, what you are able to understand, or else what you are able to see as a kind of a collaboration is, we have to understand that it is a kind of a, see, you just look into this case. It is a multidisciplinary. The data science is not a single term. When you talk about a data mining, you are talking about a data and you are doing some kind of inferences, deriving some kind of inferences with a kind of a technique. You may say that it's a knowledge pattern, right? And when we talk about a databases and a data processing, you might have came across same kind of scenario. Of course, you will have a database tables and you are trying to do some kind of derive some kind of inferences. As inferences is not directly derived from the databases, we are moving to the next level. And you may observe that what it is, a statistics. And of course, it is a key component for all of the cases. Then pattern recognition. pattern recognition, you will observe, even you will come across pattern recognition even in data mining. You will observe such type of pattern recognition even in machine learning. You will observe such type of pattern recognition in what it is, neurocomputing, everything. So you may observe that the data science is a kind of a overlapped the components connected with this kind of a discipline. You may see statistics, you may see pattern recognition, you may see neurocomputing, machine learning, deep learning, databases, knowledge discovery in databases, data mining. Of course, visualization is what the key contribution, or else the art of giving an answer. So when we talk about this case, and you may observe that this is what a cycle. It goes with a business, or else it may go with any kind of business. Of course, even cybersecurity, what we are talking about, why we are talking about cybersecurity in the sense that it is a part of business of our work, right? So you may observe that it is a multidisciplinary view. So where you observe all these terms, you will observe all these terms, or else all these the techniques connected with the term called AI, right? So that's why. So when we talk about data science, it is to be understood as a kind of a branch of artificial intelligence, and it is used to find the unseen pattern as well as draw meaningful insight from the data by making use of either a machine learning, or else by making use of any of the data mining technique, or else by making use of a simple statistical tools, or else a probability based methods. So that is what the role of our data science, or else the outcome of the data science. Basically, when you look into the role of a data scientist, they need to involve, they may be involved in preparing a data for exploration. We are normally familiar with this for EDA, analysis, visualization, along with developing some kind of models that will get some outcome, fruitful outcome from this data insight. So what is the connection of this data science with this cybersecurity, in the sense that, see, it is exploring its the growth by taking into account of the machine learning as well as the deep learning into consideration to prevent this kind of cyber attacks. So what we observe as a kind of a benefits are as the attack types, that and all what we have discussed under artificial intelligence and cyber security to apply for this data science also. So that's why I'm just talking about artificial intelligence and the cyber security in detail. And as artificial intelligence is a superset of the data science, what you do with AI is what you can do with this data science. As a point of completion, you may observe that when we talk about the what it is, a cyber attacks, and you may observe that India emerges as a top 3 target for nation state driven cyber attack. Likewise, it is emerging as the top 5 victim of cyber attacks in the H1 cases. Likewise, when we talk about the incidents connected with this cyber attacks, each day, every minute, there is a kind of a hit connected with this kind of a cyber attack. That is, you may say that about 80% of Indian companies hit with this kind of a cyber attack. Okay, as per the report of 2020, January 2023. Okay. Of course, sorry, not January, October 2023. And it was said that there are every day we are trying to get each individuals are trying to get 0.23% of such type of attack related task. So that is what we are getting as a kind of statistics. And just I'll share one website. Please just look into that case. Oh, this is visible, right? Is it clear? Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
This is what the current state, that is live cyber threat map. And you may observe that every second it is getting a kind of input in different places. So when you just roll through this one, you are able to explore. See the type of threats: crypto miner, mobile, and botnet. So we are able to get this kind of information every second. You are able to get updated information connected to this. Of course, the trend if this trend goes with the last 30 days, 1 month, you may get a data connected with this cyber security. I mean, a cyber attacks in a particular region for the particular month also. So, what is the need of the day is, in order to protect yourself, you must be in a position to aware of the threats first. Then you must ensure that you will put yourself in a safe area or in a safe way. So that is what the need. Of course, what I thought is, I'll be just throwing a light on what could be the kind of the threats we have. That is on regular basis what we may come across, and how the artificial intelligence and data science can support this kind of threats. Yes, ma'am. Hope I have done.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Any doubts? I'm not going in depth as well as the too technical. Yes, any doubts?
Have you any queries?
Is there any security that we can create? Madam, against what? Madam or sir? Roslyn.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the question is there any security that we can create? Means what? Against what we want to create?
No, ma'am. We now about cyber crime when you are telling every minute it is being recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
So all of us are not aware of this now. How
Yes,
can we
ma'am.
protect ourselves from this?
That's why, ma'am, of course, getting an awareness is very first weapon. First, we must know what is the kind of threats we have, what kind of threats we may come across. That's why there are 3 threats, right? That phishing and all this. And just you look into your mobile, your message window, you just look into your message box, right? Inbox. There itself we are able to get such type of a messages, and which is very much attractive, right? When it is a computer, you can of course, if it is a mail, your Gmail and all, you can now go for the filters that will filter such type of spam mails, right? So how many filters you say? It is not a domain you can work with it, not a single domain, right? You will have a n number of domains coming across. So what you have to set your email filters in such a way that will combat any such type of malicious mails or as spams. Your spam filter must be efficiently set, first thing, so that you can avoid only maybe 5% of all the spam mails, not 100%. Likewise, setting a antivirus and setting the firewall properly. This and all could be some kind of the measures we need to take care to avoid such type of issues. We cannot create any security. We can put ourselves in a secure place. That is the only thing what we have to. The very first thing, if you get some kind of a message, we know that certain messages is when you look into the message content itself, or else when you look into uh, the subject line itself, we will understand that it is not relevant. So better not to open them. So that is only one way to combat this kind of issues, or else we may not be in a position to become a victim of this.
Ma'am,
We
if
have
we
to put
just
ourselves.
open that message also, we are put into trouble.
Ma'am, there is a link. See, few messages we will have a links. For few messages there won't be even a link.
Okay.
And we may understand that when we look at the first line itself, it is some kind of a, some kind of a the phishing mail, right? So that you can just avoid it. No need to open.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If you want to develop a tool, you can make use of either AI or else the data science based, AI based tool, very generic AI based tool to combat a specific kind of attack, not for all kind of attack. Yes, ma'am. No queries, ma'am.
Madam, hope there is no further questions, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Yeah.
madam, for your excellent presentation on role of data science and artificial intelligence in cyber security, importance of cyber security, live cyber threat map, cyber secure checklist, components and benefits, etc. We are grateful to you for your availability to share your valuable knowledge with us. Thank you once again, madam.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am Amulya, ma'am. Of course.
Now, I would like to propose vote of thanks. My heartfelt thanks to the correspondent principal, today's eminent speaker, Dr. K.R. Manjula, and all the participants for your valuable participation in the third day of the webinar. I also thank technical team for their support to conduct the webinar successfully. Finally, I wholeheartedly thank all the participants for their active participation. Before winding up the webinar, I would like to make a few announcements to all the participants. Feedback form will be sent to chat box and WhatsApp group. All those who are attending the webinar and filling up the feedback every day will be receiving the e-certificate at the end of 1 week international Webinar-cum-FDP. So once again, I thank all for making this third day webinar very effective and successful. Hope to meet you all for the fourth day of the webinar tomorrow. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Of course.
Welcome you, madam.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Of course, the topic is we can go in depth, any kind of tool-based one. We will see, ma'am, in some other one.
PPTs will be shared, dear participants. PPT is shared in the group, WhatsApp group. You can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving an opportunity. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
I'll talk to you later. Yeah, thank you, participants, for patient and the pleasant listening. Thank you, one and all. Okay, ma'am. Shall make a move?
Yeah, okay, ma'am. You can make him. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Aruna, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Welcome, madam.